Alright, so in the last tutorial we covered a little bit why we use datasmith transfer the Rhino into Unreal, the whole set model. So in this tutorial I like to continue edit that file a little bit. So the map is here under the content site. I will double click and open the site. As you know, this is the entire site with uh, entire buildings, landscapes transferred in. So first thing I want to do is in the setting, in the project settings, I want to actually make this map as my default map to open. I don't want to use a VR template as my starting point. So I think I can just simply go to site. I think this is the name. Yeah, I want to set the site as my startup map. So that will be a little bit handy for each time. Alright, so let's close it and then save it. So next time we open this will be the default. The second is if I want to go ahead to run this in the Word settings. By the way, this setting is available in Windows Word settings. I want to change the game mode from none to game mode. So here if I play, I actually can play the game. So use WSD, I can walk. And also I can fly. However, this starting point is 0, is pretty far away from my site. I'm actually underneath the site. So one thing you want to do is in the player start, this is my starting point. I want to move this player a little bit higher position, at least above the ground. It's easier to do this in a kind of elevation or side view. So here if I zoom out, you can actually see this is my position. I can move to the middle. From the side view, you can actually see my player is pretty low. So I want to actually move my player above the ground. It's okay, you can just make it flow in the air. So now if I'm go back to the perspective and play, you see the starting point will be in a new position, and because I'm above the ground, so I can actually fly a little bit closer to the site. The reason you see the historic map, which is a little bit annoying, I can do F to fit in my view. We'll make a selection to the player start, is I want to actually turn off the visibility of the B wrap. Maybe I will just rename this to old map, right? Whatever name you feel comfortable. So I can turn on, turn off. All right. So if I turn it off and play, oh, it's still there because even you turn off here, it's just a temporary turn off. In the details, I can actually go to render, and I can turn off the visibilities. All you can do is actor hidden in game. So even it's visible here, it's not visible in the gameplay. So you can play with these settings. I will say I will probably make it visible, not visible, and then hidden in the game. So now if I play, I don't get that historic map, right? So now I'm able to see all the geometries. There's definitely something could be cleaned up. Not sure what is this. It looks like some road intersecting with another, but it's pretty far away from our site. Eventually, we're gonna rebuild the whole thing with a new map, right? So here I can quickly just checking. Everything else looks pretty good. Again, some of the building are not really relevant. We're gonna remove them in the future, right? They are individual meshes. So here, play again. I'm actually at the north end of this level. Okay, yeah, I think I'm kind of really close to the north. Is that right? Yeah. So you want to figure out where is the riding road, then you won't get lost. So here, if I type player, I'm right here. Okay, so this is my starting. Oh, actually, I'm way off the center, so I will just reposition myself to the riding road. Maybe I'll position myself to the Lincoln Statues, which is the place we did a field trip the other day. So I will just put it right here and play. Right, so this is the intersection of riding, and this is the Lincoln Statues right here, and this is the school. Okay, we have removed a lot of new buildings, so this will be what the building looks like. Uh, we want to recreate a 1950 building. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I like to do is adding a third person into the gameplay. So let's just rename this one more time to old map. Okay, and I will turn it off. All right. So now, if I play, it's just a default game mode, which is fun. Right. So here is the hotel. Um, okay. So maybe I will start the position from the hotel. I think this will be a little bit easier for me to find the geometries. So just move the geometry. Sorry, the player start a little bit to here. So I'm very close to the hotel. Maybe lower a little bit. Okay. So roughly close to this intersection. Now if I play, I'm pretty close to the hotel. Okay. So this is riding road. The next thing I'm gonna do is loading first person and third person. I think the first person is kind of similar like the word, like a game mode. So I will just maybe adding the third person then. So here in the content, I'm adding a new package, content pack. I will add third person, add to the project. Right. So keep in mind this is a VR template. So once you're adding the third person in, they actually create a bunch of new files. So for example, here is the third person map. Um, Most importantly, you have this new blueprint third person character. So what happened is now in world settings, besides the game mode, I should have another game mode called third person game mode. Right? If I switch here, it just change a bunch of stuff, including the pawn, including the player control. And if I play, I will have this robot, right? But it's falling down. The reason is we don't have collision yet. So how we can add a collision? So first thing I want to do is click this road and then browse to asset. So this is basically the geometry of the road. If I double click, you have the geometry. Um, Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the geometry. So what I want to do now is in the details type collision, and then I want to make the collisions complexity as complex. Use complex collision as simple. So now if I save it and play again, you'll see the robot is landing on the road. Because the road now has a collision, it will prevent the robot from falling. However, if I go to the green space, the grass, I'm falling down, right? So you know there's other geometries you want to add a collision. So in this case, this is green 398, and I want to do a collision. You can also do this all together, but I prefer to do this individually because every single object you add it in, if you're adding the computing time for the Unreal Engine. So I only do this with necessary objects. Change to complex. Okay, I think that's enough. We have the you know pedestrian, we have the green grass. They all have collisions. So now if I step on top, see, is actually not uh, be a problem anymore. I'm able to walk along the pedestrians. Yeah, pretty good. Um, yeah, so you want to be careful. Only do collision for the objects you absolutely know you need a collision. I'm not worried too much about the ground because in the future, I think when we teleport, we probably don't really have to go to the ground. So just to let you know, this is a way we can set up collisions. Um, yeah, so this is the hotel. That looks pretty nice. Um, in fact, if I do want to actually, jump into this zone, right now I'm just falling down. I could do is right click browse to asset. So you can see this is actually the pattern. I assume all of these meshes are a part of the ground, right? So it's from maybe mesh 705 all the way to 422, 405 all the way to that. So we could actually just, what is this one? Mesh 407. This looks like some kind of ground. But anyway, so if you're not sure, we can at least holding shift select all of this, right? So this is being selected as a group. Then I can go to edit. I want to do edit in property matrix, so that you can change all of them together. So here collision, and I want to change all of this selected group as complex. So all of them changed. Save. Alright, so hopefully I think this will prevent me falling down from these zones. So we'll see. Um, yeah, so you are actually able to walk to this terrain. That's really nice. We didn't put a high resolution texture to the terrain, but that's okay. In the future, we're gonna probably change this to grass or something else, so it's not really any issue. And also because we are using VR to navigating, so the ground is never using a third person to walk. Okay, so the third person looks pretty nice. I think we are almost to the end uh, of the. Yeah, I think we are running not to the riding road. So let's going back. It's a little bit hard to recognize the direction for now, but eventually we will put trees, put landscape, to put some old buildings, back to 1950s, and we can update all the look of the building, so there will be no confusing. Yeah, I think this is the road facing the courtyard. You can definitely run into. Oh, now you're falling down. I think that's the part we probably want to keep a collision. So this is the extra geometries. Yeah, I'm not sure which edit. So I will just simply manually adding collision to it. I will add complex. Right, save it. The same thing for this patch. Yeah, so you can add it directly. Right. So here I want to do complex. All right. So I think that's it. Now I should be able to run into inside inside the courtyard. So we'll see. This part is good. This part is good. This is good. Yep, I'm able to run pretty close to the building. But definitely, I think the details, the color of the brick, this is Not very accurate, but that's okay. Yeah, to prevent confusing, I will probably just simply move my player um, really close to the courtyard. Yeah, this is good, and I will facing maybe facing writing. Okay, play. Oh, I might actually. Oh, I probably accidentally move up. Yeah, I don't want this to be too high. Okay, so this will be a good height. Here we go. So I'm facing the riding road, facing the source, and I have the hotel besides me. Okay, I think this is the very good starting point as a baseline model. I will stop the video right here.